Hey, I'm Andy, and welcome to the Spacey Tropics Review Channel, where I try to review just a little bit of everything. It's been an extremely long time since I last posted a video on this channel, and I want to give a little bit of an explanation as to where I have been. For those of you that are new here, if you don't care to hear that explanation, please feel free to go ahead and skip to the timestamp I have somewhere on the screen right now to get to the actual review for the BOSE Open Ultra earbuds. As for the explanation, I believe this is really going to go towards my subscribers. I do owe you guys somewhat of an explanation as to why I have been on such a long hiatus, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to give me 60 to 90 seconds of your time for me to do so. The last video I posted was back in 2023, and at least in the earlier months of 2023, things were going really well. At that point, I had been married for about 2 years at that point. I got a promotion at my job. My health was actually looking a lot better. Just a small backstory on that. I've had kidney issues since I was 2. And at that time, my health was looking pretty good. And more importantly, my wife and I were expecting our firstborn, a beautiful baby girl. Something that I've always wanted. Unfortunately, as our child was born, things took a bit of a turn for the worst. We were unaware that she had a medical concern, and we were only told after she was born that she had a medical concern. Now, obviously, with that and us being new parents, that sort of put me at least in a spiral, that put my wife in a spiral, but it took a heavier toll on me, especially when it came to my health. My health deteriorated as a result of that. Lots of stress, lots of anxiety, you name it. Yes, I was going through it, and all of the relapses for my kidney issues. Since then, with all of that going on, I honestly could not find a way to get back to posting videos. My daughter took precedence, and I wanted to keep that focus, and more importantly, I had to stay focused on my own health as well, and also the well-being of my wife. With all of that said, all of the anxiety, all of the things that put me in this somewhat spiral for that duration of time, I didn't want to be in it anymore. And I started a second YouTube channel in order to help me cope. It's a channel that allows me to just be me and talk. I'm not asking you guys to go ahead and subscribe to that. There is no reason for you to subscribe to that unless you're curious, okay? I don't care. I truly don't care. I just wanted to be able to find a different venue in order to be able to post some things and how I feel about certain things on YouTube. And it's because of that I found the courage to go ahead and make time and find time to start posting on this channel again, because you guys are absolutely important. 15, or at least nearly 1,500 of you, it's almost there, have stayed subscribed to this channel for this long. And I couldn't be any more thankful. I couldn't be any more happier. You guys are what makes this channel beautiful. I don't know how I can express my gratitude to you all, but I hope that one day I can pay something like this forward to maybe the next content creator when I become, high in terms of lots of subscribers and so on and so forth. I hope I can pay that forward and help them out. So, with all of that said, it's time to actually get back to something that I genuinely cared about, tech. Without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get into the actual review for the BOSE Open Ultra, a pair of earbuds that I would have never thought would become my absolute favorite. Let's dive into it and see if I remember how to do this. So let's talk about design, and as you can see by the shot here, I got the Iridium Sunset colorway of these earbuds, and I don't know what it is, but I just love the way this thing shimmers in the light. It's got this whole two-tone effect going on, and it's nice, it's cool, and I appreciate the color. Something next to note is that these things are absolutely lightweight, probably the lightest pair of earbuds I have ever owned. Another thing is that they are easy to put on, however, they're not easy to put on. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you right now as to what I'm talking about. So, got them in the belt loop case that I have for it. This is just some random case. that I got for the case. But nonetheless, so here are the earbuds. What I like to do is obviously open them out, right? And then go ahead, take this, claw it into the actual ear itself, and just let that barrel sit on the back. Same thing for the other side. And then next thing, what I like to do is actually go ahead and aim the speaker portion. So let me get that up close and personal for you guys there. So do you see the little black piece there? That's the actual speaker portion itself. Get the speaker portion and just push it up against my actual ear canal. Now remember, these are not actual earbuds or in-ear earbuds. These sit with inside of the ear, but not exactly in the ear canal itself. What that essentially does is keep things open for you. But we'll get to that in a bit as I explain a little bit more during that time. At least as far as fit is concerned, I push the speaker up to the ear canal and then release. Same thing for the other side and release. What that essentially is going to do is make sure that the speaker is lined up as close as to the ear canal as it possibly can be in order to give you the best possible sound that these headphones can represent. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is the actual case itself. Now, you've seen some of the B-roll with what it looks like outside of one of these belt loop cases here that I have for it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of sucks. This case is huge for a BOSE product, but then again, BOSE has been down this rabbit hole of making two large cases for two small headphones. Albeit, they did switch it up when it came to the BOSE Quiet Comfort earbuds, the ones to replace the Quiet Comfort Ultra 2s or earbud 2s or whatever they want to call it. Everybody's coming up with a long name nowadays, don't you think? But that has a small case. But this isn't small. And more importantly, it's big with a small battery, and unfortunately, for those that enjoy it, this thing does not have wireless charging. So you're going to be out of luck for that one. It's really not the most appropriate case for something like this. And I'll be honest with you, it's got way too much flex. Like, can you see that? I think, you can see it there. It's got way too much flex in the lid. And it's fully like some very cheap plastic, if you ask me. So not the best built case in the world at all. So like I said, the open buds themselves are super duper lightweight. I honestly forget them when they're on sometimes and just walk around the house or go around my office area like nothing's happening, and then I'm like, oh crap, they're still on. So these things are super light, they're super awesome. Really like it for that. As far as the controls for these earbuds, they actually do have, I'm gonna bring it up close here, they actually do have a physical button there on the top. So it's gonna have your normal set of stuff. Press once to play and pause, press once to answer a call, hang up a call. Go ahead and double click on the right side to fast forward a track, left side to go back a track. I believe that's programmable in the app. And then what you can also do is one click, two click and hold, and it actually has volume control. That's crazy for a first gen product like this to have volume control, in my opinion, because, well, when the AirPods was a first gen product, even those didn't have volume control, and that had that really long stem, if you guys remember that. So kudos to BOSE for actually putting volume controls on this bad boy. All of these controls are adjustable within the BOSE app, which is something that I'm going to go ahead and touch on next right after I give my overall rating here. The case, I'm going to just give a rating of a 2 out of 5. It's honestly mediocre for a $300 product like this. But as far as the earbuds design is concerned, the earbuds themselves, 4.5 out of 5. Very ergonomic, really nice, just overall a good piece of hardware. The app itself, it's just the usual BOSE app that's available for any and everybody to go ahead and download. It's very easy to navigate and get through. What's nice is that the app also gives you an equalizer for these earbuds. Now, I will put a disclaimer out there. While there is an equalizer, it doesn't necessarily mean that it gives this thing better sound. But we'll touch a little bit more on that as we get to the actual sound portion. As far as the app is concerned, super easy to use. Even your grandma can use it. Can't say the same for a Sony app, but hey, you know what? We're talking about BOSE this time. So, again, super easy, really good controls, and just good user interface. Kudos to BOSE for making something nice. Now, let's get into the actual sound quality of these bad boys. Big, huge disclaimer on this. These earbuds, they are not and never will sound like your AirPods, your Sony WH-1000XM 5F, whatever it's called, they're not gonna sound like Bowers and Wilkins earbuds or this earbud or that earbud, because those are all in the ear canal earbuds. That's what they are. And these are not. They're open. They sit within the earlobe here, and that's it. So you need to have that in mind when going into this. They're not going to sound like traditional headphones. But the sound that it does reproduce when it sits in and you set it nicely within your ear is actually pretty decent. Weird at first. I will say that. It was weird at first, but the sound is pretty decent. Now, like I said, the BOSE app does give you the option of an equalizer to go ahead and try to just eke out a little bit more of that sound quality. Unfortunately, it's not going to do too much, but it does do something. And to me, it's enough for what these headphones are. Now, as far as the actual sound in terms of leaking, because, well, these are open earbuds. What's going to happen with the leaking? Well, I can promise you, if you guys remember, I think it was those JVC gummy headphones. Like, I know they were there during my time in high school back in New York. And all you needed to do was put them around your neck and swirl your iPod up. Well, for those of you that know about an iPod, if you know, you know. Turn up the volume on your iPod, and these things would just blast. And people would leave them on their neck, and it would sound really loud. It does not leak that bad. It will leak, especially if you're in a quiet office area and you have these things pumping above 60% volume. It will leak somewhat. People will hear you, but the leak itself is so small that it's almost negligible if you do happen to work in a very loud office environment. But as far as the actual sound is concerned, I would personally say keep these bad boys around anywhere from 30 to maximum 45% volume. What that range is going to do for you is give you the best bass, the best mids, and the best highs that these earbuds can offer. Now, they don't offer the best of anything, but during that portion of volume control, that's when these headphones shine. Nobody will hear you. These headphones will sound pretty dang good, especially if you use the EQ for it. And more importantly, you have the ultimate transparency mode available that is not even on these headphones. It's your own ears. Because of the open style of these earbuds, you have that option to listen to everybody and anybody that you need to. It's really cool and really awesome. You're not missing out anything within the office, and you're still able to keep your music playing, and it's low enough to the point where it's a perfect environment. These really work very well in an office area, and if you want to use them at home, let's say you're a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, and you just want to use them at home to listen to a little bit of music while you take care of the kids, and still hear the kids at that point, well, these are it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some cons of these headphones. First and foremost, the biggest con of them all is this actual case. You're paying $300 for these earbuds, which already is highway overkill. But now you're making me pay $300 for a case that A, is very flimsy, and B, doesn't offer wireless charging. Sorry, Bose. That is a big no-no, especially in this day and age. What makes it even worse is that the $180 to $80+ Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, that new earbud, has wireless charging. Go figure. Next up, another huge con are the mics on these things. The microphone quality is so subpar on these things that it just, again, for a $300 pair of earbuds, and more importantly, for a company that actually makes microphones, for a company that actually makes aviation grade headphones with a mic boom, I might add, for pilots to use. I mean, they gotta hear ATC properly, and they gotta talk to ATC properly too. So it's gonna need to be a powerful microphone. Unfortunately, the microphones sound like this, horrendously atrocious. And unfortunately, step outside and try to answer a phone call in some not even heavy wind or not even normal wind, just some slight wind, and these things go to crap.
Nobody will hear you. It's just not gonna happen.
And last but not least, immersive audio. Now, I know Bose is trying their thing. Immersive audio probably sounds better on the in-ear earbuds. Immersive audio on these open earbuds sound absolutely like crap. It's just not needed. And for those that don't understand immersive audio, think spatial audio for all of the AirPod Maxes and AirPod Pros and so on and so forth. It's just a version of spatial audio, and it's not good. It's really not good on these earbuds. It kind of actually takes away from the sound a little bit, if I'm being absolutely honest. Just keep these things in stereo mode and they will work absolutely just fine. Something I forgot to mention after talking about immersive audio is that immersive audio drains battery a little bit faster. So normal battery life on these things is 7 hours on a single charge, which is pretty impressive. Unfortunately, it's not impressive when you look at the case only allowing you another 19 and a half hours, while some other cases are giving you well over 20 plus hours of additional battery life. Poor on you, Bose. Again, with a case this big, it makes 0 sense that I'm only getting 19 hours on it. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Yes, there are better headphones or better open styled earbuds out there, especially when they're cheaper. JVC, Anchor, the Jawbone headphones, all of that stuff, they are cheaper than these, and there are some of them that do sound better than these. However, as far as the overall package is concerned, these Bose Open Ultras are just the bee's knees. They are the best package as far as open style headphones is concerned, in my honest opinion. I've seen a lot, I haven't tested a lot, but I've gotten a lot of detailed information about all of the competition and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer the Bose. Day in, day out, I'll take the Bose. And now, get it for $300? No, don't be stupid like me. Wait till these things go on sale at $249 or cheaper on Amazon, and then go ahead and get these bad boys. They are worth it at that point. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I know this is my first video back, and I hope I did it justice. Again, thank you to the near 1,500 plus subscribers that have stayed subscribed to this channel even while I was going through all of the things that I was going through, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. You guys are the real champions, and I love you for it. For those that are new here, I hope you do find my channel interesting enough to go ahead and subscribe, maybe even like the video, comment if you need to comment, and go ahead and share this video with anybody else who you feel may need just a little bit more additional information on the BOSE Open Ultra earbuds. With that said, I want to say I'll catch y'all in the next one.